Name's Art Brewer. I've been surfing, I'm 68 and I started when I was 12, so that'll give you an idea. And basically born and raised in Laguna Beach. The only hospital around was up in Orange, St. Joseph at the time, but my parents came out from West Virginia during World War II, the beginning of it, and my dad was in the Marine Corps. And my mom was in the grocery business, working at what was Acords Market and A&P originally in Laguna. Sort of a funny story because it was 1967, and I'd been surfing out at Thalia Street, and I came in, and a friend of mine was standing there on the beach, and he had a Pentax H1A camera that his father had bought him, and bought him a 400 millimeter f5.6 lens that basically looked like a painted toilet paper roll. And he asked me if he could borrow my board, and we grew up together, and I said, sure. He goes, well, here, watch my camera. If you want, you can take pictures. And he gave me an extra roll of film, and there was one in there. And I ended up shooting both rolls of film and took it down to Bill Thomas. 2 days later, the film came back. I got it. I was like blown away. I go, I want to do this. And so I went back down and talked to Bill Thomas, because I grew up with his son, and we all used to hang out and play together when we were before surfing. And I talked to Bill and checked out, see what I could purchase from him. And he gave me an Exacta, and I checked it out. I took it out and tried it, didn't like it, and finally one of the military guys coming back from Vietnam had brought in a Pentax, and he saved it for me and goes, here, I got you a camera. And I go, well, I don't have the money. And he goes, that's all right, if you give me $10 a week. So I went and got a job working at the market where my mom worked, where she was doing the accounting for the market. And I'd go mop floors before swim or water polo practice or baseball practice at 4 in the morning, and mop the floors, and I made that $10 a week, and I paid for it. My mom finally realized that I had this camera. I didn't hide it from her, but she never was nosy, and she about lost it. And she went down and scolded Bill Thomas and told him, what are you doing, giving this kid this camera? And he said, he's paid for it. It's all good. He goes, he never missed a week of paying me, And my mom just said, well, if you bought it, hopefully you use it. And I was, addicted to photography, just taking pictures and seeing the results and seeing the color, playing with the black and white. And Laguna really didn't have a photography setup whatsoever, but they did have a newspaper. And that was right next to driver's ed. So I would sneak out of driver's ed and go into the journalism class and sneak into their darkroom and self-taught myself how to process film and print and things like that. And I ended up, later that year, actually it was probably right on the verge of 68, I ended up going up to the ranch. I'd bought another camera, an Iconis, which was waterproof, and I took a picture of a guy named Steve Bigler who had a local surf shop right there by where the lifeguard station is now, up in the north end of Main Beach. It's called Machine Scene. And Bigler was a well-known, surfer from, I think, the Santa Monica or Buellton area, one of those two places, but, like a champion type surfer. And so Bigler invites me to go up there with a guy named Pierre Michel. So we went to the ranch, and I took a water shot of Bigler doing an off the lip, sort of one of the first shots of that type that had been seen, especially from the water. And that was my first published cover of Surfer magazine.